Namaste. Welcome to the 22nd session of Ramayana Kathalahari. Only 2 more sessions to go after this, and yeah, it's a very important session as far as the story is concerned. Right. Now, so far, the story has been brought till in Meghanada or Indrajit has been killed. He has been downed by Lakshmana, and Lakshmana returns to Rama's camp, triumphant and victorious. And we all saw that that moment that he shared with his brother, which was quite a bit shyful for Lakshmana, especially after you have won one of the bloodiest battle that you will ever fight in your life, and you come back victorious, carried by great warriors. The warriors are cheering for you, and your brother seems to treat you like a small baby at that moment. I mean, we are not supposed to look at this moment from Lakshmana's perspective. We are supposed to look at this moment from Rama's perspective. He still considered Lakshmana as his son, rather than considering him as his brother. He was his brother, no doubt, but for Rama, Lakshmana meant more than anything or anybody in this world. I want all the listeners to know this for a fact. There is no greater brotherhood, no greater example for brotherhood than Rama and Lakshmana. That can be seen even to this day in every home. If there are 2 brothers, younger and elder one, every single family has the same word to tell them. They have the same line to tell them. Usually they all shower their blessing saying that Rama Lakshmanarante Channagiri. They all say that when they look at 2 brothers, they always bless them that stay like this, stay like Rama and Lakshmana. Because no other brotherhood can replace the brotherhood that is shared by Rama and Lakshmana. That's the kind of brotherhood that we get to witness. I know this might sound ironic, especially coming from a person who spoke so who spoke so profusely about and very passionately about Bharata being the greatest ever brother that Rama could have. And Rama himself has claimed that Nalakshmana Samo Bharata is also a line we usually see in Ramayana. Nasarve Bhratarastata Bhavanti Bharatopamaha is another line. So it's not contradictory. Only Rama can do justice to both the lines. We have favorites to pick. Rama doesn't do favorites. Yeah. So anyway, so after this, Ravana cried for the second and the last time that he is ever going to cry. People will cry for him later today. But Ravana cried his last tears when he lost his son. He lost his greatest weapon, greatest warrior, the greatest trump card that he had in his pocket. Afterwards, he decided that he will send whoever was remaining in his army, his ministers. All those ministers were killed by Sugrīva, Angada, Hanūmān. The army that Ravana had, a veteran army, was down to 1 man, and only 1 man, that is Ravana. And when Ravana came on to the battlefield, it was very brutal, to be honest. And he did not go empty-handed. He had that revenge. He wanted to avenge his son. Who had killed his son? It was Lakshmana who had killed Indrajit. So he wanted to get back at Lakshmana, and one of the fiercest battles broke down between Ravana and Lakshmana. See, many people say that if Lakshmana was so valiant, so powerful, so courageous, so strong that he could kill Indrajit, how could he not face Ravana? Every time we hear about Lakshmana in Indrajit's battle, we have built up, especially I have built up that battle. I have given so much of hype to Indrajit and Lakshmana's battle that it's quite obvious for anybody to feel that maybe Ravana was not that strong. Maybe Rama was not at that level. But let me remind you, both Rama and Ravana were on a different level altogether. They belong to a different league entirely. So when Ravana decided to avenge his son, all he could see was Lakshmana. He did not even care for Rama. He went straight at Lakshmana. And a fierce battle broke between Lakshmana and Ravana, and no guesses for uh, no prizes for guessing who won that battle. It was not Lakshmana. It was Ravana. For a change, it was Ravana who won probably the only battle that he he could in this great war. And he downed Lakshmana. He not only hurt Lakshmana badly. See, we must remember that Lakshmana was already hurt and he was recovering, but he just wanted to stay with his brother because their greatest enemy was there. And Lakshmana did not want to miss the action. He is that kind of a person. He does not want to take rest. He does not take casual leaves. He does not enjoy vacations. He does not prefer breaks from his job. His job is to stay beside his brother through thick and thin. And Ravana was right in front of their eyes, and Lakshmana did not want to take a break. So it was at this moment that when Ravana saw Lakshmana, he decided to go full throttle at him, and he succeeded. He used his most powerful Shakti Ayudha, a weapon named as Shakti, against Lakshmana. Lakshmana was pinned down. He was brought down, and he fell unconscious. That must be nothing surprising to you people as of now, because we have seen our heroes down unconscious so many times. It has almost become like, when are they going to fall unconscious next? Because we are not talking about superheroes. This is not some magic that happens here. There is no Devata, Varaprasada, or all such kind of things. They are very much Ardran. They are like all of us. So this time when Lakshmana fell down, Rama could not take it because it was the kind of unconsciousness that surrounded Lakshmana this time was more serious and more severe than it was in the previous times. Therefore, Rama's reaction was not similar. If you remember, Hanūmān was already once sent to Himalayas to bring the required medicinal plants. That was all over. Now, when Lakshmana fell, this time it was not Jambavan who came to the rescue. It was their appointed official doctor, a junior doctor maybe, who was working as an understudy to Jambavan. His name was Sushena. So he told Hanūmān, he called upon Hanūmān and said that, see, you have to go back to the same place. From whichever region of Himalayas you brought the previous medicinal plants, or the entire, in your case, the entire Parvata, that is not going to suffice this time. Okay, you have to go to the same place and look towards south in that direction. I mean, in that place, look towards south. There you will find something called as Sanjeevani, which means a medicinal plant that can breathe life back into people. Okay. Just by the name, you can imagine what kind of a situation Lakshmana was in. It was not a pleasant situation, not at all. Otherwise, Rama would not have overreacted like this. He was not even breathing at that moment, to be honest. And when Rama looked at Lakshmana, he had all the reasons to be upset. He said that, he gives an example. See, if the moon goes away, stays away from the people's eyes, do you think the moon can bring any bliss, any pleasure to this world? It cannot. So, like apple of my eye, something that kind of statement. So he's saying that you are not the apple of my eye, Lakshmana. You are the moon of my eyes. That's what Rama actually means here. He says that you bring, whenever I see you, I am happy. I'm blissful whenever I look at you. I feel pleasant when I look at you. And without you, if I don't see your face, if I don't see your smiling face, then how can I carry on with the life? Deshe Deshe Kalatrani, one of the other iconic statements made in Ramayana. This one is probably most quoted one by all the famous narrators of Ramayana as well. Deshe Deshe Kalatrani. You can find wives in each and every place. You go to any corner of this world, you can find a wife. Deshe Deshe cha bandhava. You can find relatives as well. So basically, it's not only meant for Malayalam people. It's not only meant for chetas that you can find a Malayali in every nook and corner of this world. It is meant for each and every one of us. You can find relatives, or you can generate relatives in every corner of this world. You can make bandhavas, you can make friends and family, and you can find wives everywhere. Tantu desham na pashyami yatra bhrata sahodara. Yatra sahodaraha bhrata bhavati tam desham na pashyami. This is how it must be understood. It's a very interesting take. You may stay with your brother, your sibling, born from the same mother, sahodaraha. Two people who have shared the same womb, same mother's womb. They are called as sahodara. Saha udarena jata iti sahodara. In spite of being a sahodara, it's not necessary that they will be a bhrata, or he will turn out to be bhrata. What is bhrata? One who takes care of you, one who never lets you down. Bharanat bhrata, one who looks after you, is known as bhrata. He says that it's very hard to find. It is Rama's words, by the way, so you can understand the amount of weightage that these lines carry. Deshe deshe kalatrani, deshe deshe cha bandhavaha. Tantu desham na pashyami yatra bhrata sahodaraha. A place where siblings turn out to be a brother is a very rare place to find. You don't find such places. Because most of the times, the siblings, they would want to abandon you, they would want to desert you the moment you are in a deep trouble. And that's normal. And that's the kind of normalcy that we find in other epics as well, where brothers try to overthrow or manipulate their elder brother, isn't it? The entire Mahabharata is like that. We appreciate that. We love the conversation between Bhima and Yudhishthira, isn't it? Where Bhima actually speaks so much of words in such a harsh way to Yudhishthira. He tries to provoke him. You don't find such kind of brothers in Ramayana. Sorry, that's not brotherhood. That's not the way you speak to your elder brother. This is an epic where the mother tells her son that Ayodhya matavim vidhi, mam vidhi janakatmajam, Ramam Daśaratham vidhi, gachatata yatha sukham. This epic gives us the picture of a woman, a mother, who is telling her kid to consider Sita as his mother, to consider the forest as Ayodhya, and to consider Rama as not his elder brother but as his father. The kind of samskara that we find in Ramayana is Zameen Asman ka farak, is Ajagajantara Vityasam. It's not the same one. So never ever compare when it comes to family values, when it comes to core values. We can never say that both of them convey the same thing. They don't. They convey the same thing in the sense of dharma. There are plenty of dharma sukshmas in Mahabharata which is very difficult to decode. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not against Mahabharata. I'm against those people who try to disregard the relevance of Ramayana by quoting that Mahabharata is more relevant because we can relate to it. I don't care whether you can relate to it or not. Ramayana is always going to stay relevant because it talks about those core values. Those 16 attributes that were listed by Valmiki, that those attributes are the foundation of human existence. The mankind's existence relies upon those 16 greatest attributes ever. So do not tell me ever that Ramayana cannot be as relevant as Mahabharata. It's out of question. Ramayana is always relevant. When it comes to Mahabharata, its relevance is forever. I'm not diminishing that, I'm not dismissing it. But the way we, the people, have understood Mahabharata's, what do you call that, relevance, is not the way actually Mahabharata's relevance exists. Mahabharata is a story that is filled with the secrets of Janma, the secrets of birth. Each and every character you pick in Mahabharata has a unique birth. You go back, look at all the characters, all the important characters, and if I am wrong, you come back and tell me. There is not a single character in Mahabharata which does not involve a unique birth. Everybody has a backstory. Even from the most bloody opportunistic Karna to the greatest ever Krishna, every single character has a unique story regarding their birth, related to their birth. You look at Ramayana, in only 25 shlokas, Valmiki finishes up Rama's birth to Rama's growth. In 25 shlokas, in a span of 25 shlokas, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna are born, they grew up, they studied, they finished their childhood, and they are ready to go with Viśvāmitra. In a span of one sarga. That's how quickly Valmiki moves, because he knows that the life is real, the struggle is real, so why don't we focus there? Okay, anyway, coming back. And then Rama regrets one thing. What must have I done in any of my previous births? Yes, this is Rama speaking. Isn't he a god? Doesn't he remember that he does not have any previous janmas? He is Aja. Yes, he knows that. But he is not speaking as a Prabhu there. He is not speaking as a god there. He is speaking as you and I. He is speaking as a commoner. Martyavataras Martya Shikshanam. We must never forget that the entire purpose of Rama Avatara was not to show off his godliness. And the purpose of Rama Avatara was to write down a path, was to walk a path that will serve as a precedent for the rest of the humanity forever. So that's the whole purpose of Ramayana. Therefore, he speaks as any other common man would speak at that moment. When your brother has fallen down unconscious for the umpteenth time, this is how your brother usually reacts. And he says that what must have I done in my previous janma that I have to face all these kind of things. What will I go and answer in Ayodhya when Sumitra asks me? How will I face Kausalya? How will I face Bharata and Shatrugna? And when I was asked to go to forest, he followed me. I mean, he did not even ask any questions. And how will I ever be able to repay Lakshmana's following and Lakshmana's love and gratitude that he has towards me? How am I going to repay that if I do not get to see him? Uttishtha pashya kim sheshe deenam mam pashya chakshusha. And this is where it might seem to some people that this is too much. I don't care, but this is Rama for you, a completely emotional man. See, we need to understand that our heroes once upon a time were both emotional and at the same time they had the control over their emotions so that they could bring the anger that is required to kill an enemy. He was the greatest ever warrior and at the same time the most loving brother. Both of them put together in the same man, happening one after the other. That's a very rare thing to behold. And that's Rama for you. That's why when we say Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva, he gets to play in all those roles. Rama is everything for us. He is a protector like a father. He nourishes us like a mother. He defends us like a brother. He is everything. So he does all those things because he has those qualities in him. So he asks Lakshmana to wake up and look at me. Why are you not responding to me? And that's how usually people talk to a person who is unconscious or dead, isn't it? Why don't you speak to me and all those things? That's exactly how Rama is also reacting here. And at this time, Sushena came there and he said that, please leave this misery. He's not dead. Okay, Lakshmana is not dead. How can you be so sure that Lakshmana is not dead? See, I'm a certified practitioner. I'm a certified medical officer, okay, of Lakshmana's of Sugrīva's army. If I am telling you that Lakshmana is not dead, you must believe me, Rama. Why? You are speaking to Rama, you have to give some proofs, you have to give some evidences. Medical report. Okay, he reads out the medical report that Lakshmana is not dead. How come Lakshmana is not dead? Some brilliant insights. And this is how you consider whether a person is dead or not. Even if he's walking and alive and speaking, you can consider all of us dead if we do not have these kind of lakshana. What is that lakshana? First one, nahyasya vikritam vaktram. First and foremost point, his vaktram, that is his face, is not filled with any vikara. How do you determine a face whether it is filled with vikara or not? I leave that to your better judgment, because if I comment, most of you will get offended. So I don't want to offend any of you. We have only 2 more sessions left, so I want to be safe. So I will leave that to your better judgment. How do you determine somebody's face to be vikara? I will just give you a hint what is vikara and what is natural. Vikara means artificial. Anything that makes that comes under artificial is vikara. Anything that is natural is okay. So anything that we do to our face that is called as kritrima, that all comes under vikara. I leave this at this point, and the rest of it, it's up to you, because I want to be safe. First point that Sushena mentions is naiva panchattvamapanno lakshmana, because nahyasya vikritam vaktram. Second one, nacha shyamatvam agatam. This, I don't know how many of you have observed, but you can observe when a person proceeds towards his death. I don't know if we can use that word, proceeds towards death. When he's closer to his death, his face, the word his is a gender neutral term. Okay, it's not related to only men. It's applicable to everyone. His face turns. His face gets a blackish hue, and you can observe that. And usually, in some families, in some homes, if there are people who are very good at reading face, this is called as reading face. Okay, well, I'm reading your face. You seem to be sad. No, that is not face reading. This is face reading. What Sushena is doing, this is exactly what face reading means. Shyamatvam na aptam. It means that he's not getting that black color. His face is not turning black. If a person is about to die, then his face will turn black. What if a person is already black? Some racist questions. Okay, you can always find out that there will be an extra added layer of black if they are proceeding towards their death. It's something that you can observe over a course of time. It doesn't happen overnight. You need that skill. You need to have that subtleness in your indriyas. Only then you will be able to observe how to make or how to arrive at this conclusion. Third one, suprabhancha prasannancha mukhamasya nirikshata. It's glowing. Lakshmana's face is glowing and it is prasannam. There is a pleasantness written on his face. What is that first shloka everybody tells in their home before performing any puja? Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam. They have no clue whatsoever what is Prasannavadanam. This is Prasannavadanam. When a person's face is prasanna, only then he is presentable, he is pleasantable, he is approachable. Therefore, the deity, the Bhagavan, the Daivam that we are approaching must always be Prasannavadanam, because he must be approachable. If his face looks dead to us, then how can you go and approach him? Now just take a moment here to appreciate all our sculptors of yesteryears who managed to bring that prasannata on a bloody stone. so that when we visit a temple, when we look at a stone, it's not a stone to us. It looks prasanna vadanam for us, isn't it? That's how we have all experienced our first memory of a god for all of us. When I say this, our first memory of a god is not a picture of a god. It's the temple. It's the vigraha that we have seen in the sanctum sanctorium. Hats off to those sculptors. That's the kind of conviction that these people used to have towards their skill. Magnificent. It's not simply about carving something out of stone. If you want that, you can visit Italy. Roman sculptures, so beautiful, so majestic. What is the purpose? Where is the point? You go to Beluru or Halebeedu, you look at a sculpture and you will spend an entire day looking at it. Kho jayenge hum log. I mean, we get lost in that sculpture. The power that those sculptures possess in them, that comes from the conviction that the sculptor possesses. And how does the sculptor possesses this kind of conviction? Only when he has seen that prasanna vadanam in his heart, when he has envisioned that prasanna vadanam in his heart. So Sushena is trying to show Lakshmana's face and asking Rama to identify that, look at Lakshmana's face. It is still glowing, suprabham, and it is still suprasannam. It is still pleasant. And look at his hand. Nadi pariksham, pulse, not checking the pulse here. Padmapatra talau hastav. His hands, it's a warrior's hand, isn't it? Many people would complain here that this is exactly how the Western commentators have commentated. I don't have to read all those Western commentaries because I have not, but I can bet you that this is exactly how they would have translated it. The lines Padmapatra talau hastav. They would have raised a question, at least in their forum, they must have raised this question, that he was a warrior. Lakshmana was a seasoned warrior, and yet his hands were Padmapatra talau, and as smooth as lotus leaf. Come on, isn't it an opposite to one another? It's not. He's not talking about the smoothness of his skin, what moisturizer Lakshmana did use every day. No, not like that. He is talking about the pleasantness. See, when you look at a lotus, it usually brings that prasannata to our mind. I don't know if you have experienced this or not, but do experience this. For that, you don't have to go to KR market. Now, see, if you have seen a plucked lotus, you will never get that pleasantness. Go to a lake. See how naturally during the sunrise, when the sun rises early in the morning, observe how the sun rays, as they fall on that lotus, the lotus blossoms. That's the kind of thing that we need to watch every day. That's when we will understand Hridaya Kamala Madhye. Use this Dhyana Shloka for every god. Where is your god? Hridaya Kamala Madhye. What is Hridaya Kamalam? Your instructor will tell you, close your eyes, deep breathing. You can see a lotus in your heart. No, it doesn't work that way, my friend. It does not work that way. It's an imagination. There are two different things. To imagine a lotus in your heart is different. To actually envision the Hridaya Kamalam is different. Okay. And somebody likes a blue lotus, so he envisions his heart as blue lotus. Does it work that way? It doesn't. Sorry, I know it's going somewhere else, but these are some of the things that need to be removed. These sort of thoughts that make around amongst us. Suprasanne chalochane. Another thing. Look at his eyes. They are suprasanne. Nedrisham drishyate rupam gatasunam vishampate. See, those who are dead will never have these kind of qualities present in their body. Therefore, ergo Lakshmana is not dead. And then he orders Hanūmān, go there, bring that Sanjeevani. I want only Sanjeevani, okay? Do not bring an entire Parvata this time, please. We don't have space here. Hanūmān. He went there, and he started searching for Sanjeevani. He could not find Sanjeevani. I mean, so much so for Navavyakarana Pandita, he could not find. Sorry, that was a Jai but Vyakarana. He is known to have learned 9 types of Vyakarana, Hanūmān. But so much so for being a Vyakarana, he was not able to find Sanjeevani. So what he did, he plucked that entire Shikharam, he brought it. This time, there was no magic happening. Last time what happened is, as soon as he brought that Shikharam, the wind that blew was sufficient enough to make Rama and Lakshmana rise from their unconsciousness. But this time, Lakshmana was down severely. Therefore, as soon as that Shikhara was brought by Hanūmān, Sushena went and plucked all the Sanjeevani, and he made the medicine, the required medicine, and then he applied it on Lakshmana. And then Lakshmana got back his consciousness. A proper medical practice, all that happened, procedure, everything happened. Now, Rama again became very emotional, and he was very happy to see his brother back to consciousness. He says that, if you were not alive, then I would have not known what to do and all such things. He said, see, my brother, you have already given a pratigna. You have made a pratigna that you will kill Ravana. Have you forgotten that? You lot, don't you remember what we discussed in the end, at the end of the last lecture? Aravanam aramam va jagadrakshatha vanaraha. He asked all the vanaras to take a rest, take a break, sit back, relax, enjoy. Okay. Either this world will be pronounced as Arama, a world without Rama, or this world will be called as Aravana, a world without Ravana. It's going to be either one way. No other way is possible. No other possible outcome is there. So Lakshmana reminded, and then before the sun sets today, you must kill Ravana. So this is going to happen. And then the Devatas, everybody were watching, not just us. It's been, how many months has it been since we started Uttarakanda? I don't remember. This is the largest Kanda in the entire Ramayana. So I think it must have been some time, at least 3 months, I believe, since we started Uttarakanda. And it has been so many days since the war started. So even all the Devatas were looking, and the fight broke down between Rama and Ravana. Rama was still fighting valiantly. Remember, all this time, Rama, Lakshmana, every one of them were foot soldiers. They did not have any chariots. They were not guided by anyone. They were not taken to places by a charioteer. They used to stand on the ground and fight. Now the Devatas, all of a sudden, the gods, they felt that this is unfair. Rama should also get a Ratha. They finally realized. So Indra sent his personal chauffeur and personal vehicle along with some other equipments, custom-made equipments for Rama. Indra sent a Ratha along with Matali. Matali is Indra's Sarathi. And Matali came to Rama and requested that, say, Indra, my master has sent this to you. Please accept this. This is not a gift that is bestowed upon you. This is a Deva Karyam. See, selfish people. This is a Deva Karyam that needs to happen. Therefore, they want to contribute to this Deva Karyam. So this is how they want to do it. Please, bold this Ratha. Fine. Yuddham Dvairatham Romaharshanam. First adjective that Valmiki uses to describe this battle. I mean, up until now, it was a different kind of battle. But now this battle has been elevated to next level. The reason being, there is no unfair treatment anymore. Both of them are on Ratha. And now the battle begins. At times, Ravana used to get an upper hand. And everybody who were witnessing the battle between Rama and Ravana, they used to cry, what will happen? Let Rama be safe, let Ravana be killed. A very anxious moment. This is not a straightforward story where the hero wins easily. It doesn't happen like that in Ramayana. And at some times, Rama used to gain upper hand over Ravana. And this happened quite a long time, almost 2 days. And neither of them were tired. Neither of them. And one day, finally, at the end, what happened is, Rama spoke. This is the only moment you find in the battle between Rama and Ravana where Ravana has not spoken to Rama. It's Rama who speaks. It is still, to this day, a mystery to me. I have not been able to find an answer for this. Usually what happens is those who act don't speak, especially on a battlefield. Never have you seen Rama or Lakshmana, any of their category, speaking on a battlefield until and unless they are spoken to. If you remember correctly, even in the battle between Lakshmana and Indrajit, it was Indrajit who provokes Lakshmana, and Lakshmana only responds to him. Ravana has not even spoken anything here, but the sheer power that Ravana had, the amount of audacity through which Ravana tormented Rama this long on the battlefield, provoked Rama to speak. He said that you are the one who abducted my wife when I was not around. Do you think I am enjoying this battle between us? I'm feeling desperate and anxious, and I want to kill you. And today I am going to kill you. This much was enough for Rama, and his anger is elevated to level 2. Now, it was only in level 1 up until now. It is elevated to level 2. And immediately you would not believe what happens when Rama elevates his anger to next level. You remember Viśvāmitra had given an upadesh of all the astras and Shastra Vidya to him back when he was a small boy, back when he was a young one. And now, at that time, if you remember, all of them, they stood in human form in front of Rama, and they requested, give us an order. Rama had told them that Hridayastha me bhavantu. He had asked them to stay in his heart, and whenever he remembers them, they must appear in front of him. And now Rama remembered all of them. So you can imagine, up until now, whatever the fight was happening between Rama and Ravana, it was purely skill-based. They were not getting deep down into their arsenal. They were not digging into their, their pool. They were simply relying upon their archery skills up until now. That itself generated so much of anxiety to people who were watching. I know no matter how much ever I try to tell this, it cannot match the intensity that existed between Rama and Ravana during this battle. It cannot be matched. No words are sufficient enough. See, when the great poet Valmiki himself says that, then who are we? We cannot even replicate that. Okay. Anyway, so at this moment, all of those astras came in front of Rama. Pradurbabhur astrani sarvani viditatmanaha. And then immediately Ravana got a shot of enthusiasm. I don't know if you have ever experienced this kind of thing. Most probably all of us would have experienced this. When we are plowing through a particular work, or when we are going through a particular work, we don't know when that work is going to end. Imagine this. And all of a sudden, we get some enthusiasm from within. We get a boost of motivation from within. And we try to put more effort towards finishing that job. That's exactly what happened with Rama once these astras showed in front of him. And when he upped the ante, Ravana could not survive. Ravana was not able to hold his ground, and he was thoroughly defeated. He was almost, his charioteer was a great fellow. He understood that his master is not feeling well. He's falling down. Ravana was almost like, he was fighting in his dream. It was like he's feeling very sleepy, and yet he was able to fight somehow. It was at that kind of level, the intensity. Ravana was tiring, and they all observed, and none so more than his own charioteer, his Sarathi. What did this Sarathi do at this moment? He took the chariot, he took Ravana back to Lanka. It's an embarrassment, isn't it? For anybody, for any great warrior, to be taken away from the battlefield in the middle of the battle, in the heat of that battle. If you are taken away back to your camp, it's an embarrassment. Ravana was furious as soon as he went to Lanka. See, the battlefield is a difficult place. There will be too much of heat. I don't have to explain this to you. But immediately when he moved to Lanka, you remember what had happened to Sugrīva when Sugrīva fell unconscious and he was carried by Kumbhakarna. When the breeze of Lanka helped him to gain consciousness, and then he bit Kumbhakarna and came back. The same thing happened to Ravana. He almost fell unconscious out of tiredness. And when he was taken back to Lanka, the cool breeze of Lanka helped him to gain consciousness. And he looked at his Sarathi and started questioning him. I think I'm sure you are being paid by the enemy. You are on their side. Tell me, how much have you taken from them? How much bribe have you accepted from them? Otherwise, why would you do such an act of embarrassment to me? And now begins another art of our country that has gone into oblivion. Nobody remembers what it means to be a Suta Putra, or what it means to be a Suta, or what it means to be a Sarathi. Because we have been told that Suta was looked down upon. Okay, he was always looked down. He was never given any suitable opportunity in life. He was never appreciated and welcomed in the room. That's why we all appreciate the friendship of Duryodhana and Karna, because he took him as a friend, because he was a Sutaputra, isn't it? Karna was neither a proper Kshatriya nor a proper Sutaputra. This is what happens to those who stay in between. He was an in-betweener. Kutta na ghar ka na ghat ka. That was the situation of Karna. Because if he was a proper Sutaputra, if he actually had learned the trade of his parents who took care of him, and he would have raised in the ranks of Sutas. Shalya was a great charioteer. Not Karna. Why not? Because he never learned that art. And neither did he learn Kshatriya Vidya, that is Dhanur Vidya, properly, because he lied to his teacher. The first quality that is tested, that is examined in a student, is never to lie to your teacher. Karna did that. Oh, but he did not know. It doesn't matter. If you did not know, I will give you an example from Upanishad. His name was Satyakama. It was a title conferred upon him. He did not know his father. He went to a Gurukulam. The Kulapati asked, "Who are you, my child?" He said, "I don't know. I don't know, but they call me the son of Jabala." Jabala was his mother's name. He said, "My mother's name is Jabala. I don't know who my father is." Truth, the value of truth. The Kulapati accepted him, admitted to so-and-so university. The reason being truthful. When he went to learn Vidya, he could have said, "See, I don't know, I'm raised by them. I don't know who I truly am." Should have cleared. See, Satya always carries value. If you lie, you're always going to suffer. Okay, coming back to Ramayana now. I've taken enough detours for today. Now, you just look at the answers that are given, the response given by the Sarathi to Ravana. First and foremost, I was not scared of Rama. Na bhitosmi. I did not run you away or take you away from the battlefield because I was scared, or because I was afraid of Rama. Na bhitosmi. Na mudhosmi. It's not that I have forgotten what is the duty of a Sarathi. Nopajaptosmi shatrubhi. And I am not brought by, I'm not bought by my enemies as well, your enemies as well. And I have not forgotten, I have not committed any mistake. And I have not forgotten all the things that you have bestowed upon me over all these years. I'm loyal to you even to this day. And only to protect and preserve your yashas, to preserve your fame, I had to drive you back to Lanka. Why? Because Shramantavava gacchami, because I saw that you were tiring. Because you were fighting such a brutal battle that I realized that you were tiring. And it's not fair for anybody to be so tired on the battlefield and still continue. You have to be fresh on the battlefield. And fair enough, he was an old man, so obviously he would get tired. And then, not just you, the horses, they were all tired. They looked thirsty. See the amount of knowledge a Sarathi needs to know. He needs to understand the needs of the person who is seated on his Ratha, as well as he needs to understand the engine of his Ratha. They are the horses. He needs to understand them. They have their own needs. They were feeling thirsty. And I had to change because they cannot carry this kind of intense battle for a very, very long time. So I needed to change them. Dina, Dharma Parishranta, Gavo Varshahata Iva. So, and one last thing, most important thing, I saw some of the nimittams. I saw a few omens. This was the job of a Sarathi. A Sarathi was supposed to look at all these things. Should I take this path or should I take that path? Should I take a left here or should I take a right here? It's not about merely blindly following Google Maps. For a generation that blindly follows Google Maps, these things doesn't ring a bell at all. But a Sarathi is supposed to take such a decision. Why do you think Krishna is called as Partha Sarathi? He understood the needs of Partha. He understood the bloody destination of Partha. That's why he is celebrated as Partha Sarathi. Only Bhagavan, the likes of Bhagavan Krishna, can be our Sarathi. Not everybody gets to be a great Sarathi, because these are the responsibilities of a Sarathi. Right? He says to Ravana that I saw some bad omens. Apradakshinam pashyami. Everything around me were anti-clockwise, were moving anti-clockwise, which is a bad omen, which is a bad sign for the person who is seated on the Ratha. How many drivers, honestly, it doesn't matter whether you're driving a Maruti 100 or BMW. If you are a proper driver, then you are supposed to look at the nature, understand the nature, comprehend the nature's signs. This Sarathi did that. What things need to be studied, needs to be observed by a proper Sarathi. I know this is not the part which needs to be elaborated. Some people might feel bored regarding all these details, but these details need to be put out in the world so that we can understand what a great legacy of art and skill we had in our country. Sarathi is, that Ratha Vahanam, riding a Ratha, was a great kala in our country. And if that was a kala, it had so much of insights that we are missing these days. And that we need to focus this, whether you are walking, whether you are riding a two-wheeler or four-wheeler or a truck or a plane, it doesn't matter. If you are riding something, then you need to focus on all these things. First point, Desha Kalu. The Desha, in which area are you riding? That needs to be focused. Kala needs to be taken into account. Lakshanani, Ingitani. Lakshanani is nimittas. And Ingitani. Ingitani is every time we step out of our home, there will be few things in the nature that will be speaking to us. That is called as Ingita. They're all guiding us in some way. Which path should I take? In which direction should I head towards my work today? The nature gives us a hint. And a proper Sarathi would know that he would take this path today because of Ingita. And then Dainyam, whether I'm feeling saddened today, Harshashcha, whether the mood is happy and joyful, or whether the mood is sad and filled with misery, whether there is Kheda and Ratinashcha Balavalam. how strong is the person who is riding with me is. How strong is he? I need to, a Sarathi needs to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the person whom he is carrying. Sthala nimnani bhumescha. He needs to make a study of where that field in which he is actually taking that ratha is up or down. He needs to study that as well. Samani vishamanicha yuddha kalascha vigneya. And not just this, parasyantara darshan. He also needs to study the opposition. He also needs to study the enemy. How is he approaching us? How can I avoid? And how can I protect my master? And all these things. Upayana, apayanecha. When to approach, when to speeden up, and when to hold back. All these things are very vital for a Sarathi. Sarvameta drathasthena jneyam ratha kutumbina. See, these things were specifically, explicitly mentioned by Valmiki for the likes of us. There was no necessity for either Ravana or the Sarathi, because both of them were well versed with all these things. They knew all these things. They had learned all these things long ago. So it was not about reminding them, but in the disguise of reminding them, Valmiki wanted to preserve a lost art, a lost kala, a great kala of our country. This is how poetry works. Poetry is not merely about imagination. It's not about noting down or documenting the events. It's much more than that. It is a flag bearer of our culture. This is how you preserve our culture. So when Sarathi gave such detailed description and the reasons behind him taking Ravana back to Lanka, Ravana was impressed, was super impressed with his Sarathi. So he gave him his necklace, and then with a fresh ratha, tied with fresh horses, enters Ravana again to the battlefield. Do you think only Ravana was tired at this moment? You are mistaken. Even the great Rama was tired at this moment. Tato yuddha parishrantam samare chintaya sthitam. He was worried. These are the same things that I have used, the same weapons that I have used, the same arrows that I have used to kill Khara, Dushana, Trishiras, Vālī, Kabandha. So many people, I have killed them. How come I am not able to kill this one person? How am I not able to kill Ravana with the same set of arrows? Rama was worried. Rama was also anxious. Yuddha parishrantam. And never tell me that Rama was not tired. Because he was God, he never got tired. No, don't come up with such foolish reasons. He was tired. That's the first line, first word of Aditya Hridayam. Tato yuddha parishrantam. Of course, yuddha makes you tired. Human form. Absolutely human. And samare chintaya sthidam. Why Ravanancha agrato drishtva yuddha is upasthidam. Because what had happened previously, Ravana had fled the scene of the battlefield, isn't it? He was nowhere to be seen. So Rama thought that maybe he is not coming back. But here he is, much fresher and more rejuvenated than before, with a fresh set of horses and a new vehicle. And Ravana is here in front of him. It's almost like, how many times should I defeat him? It was a small victory for Rama when he sent Ravana packing back to Lanka. But Ravana was there, not accepting the defeat. He came back again. Rama was tired. How many times should I send him back? Why is he not understanding that he has been thoroughly defeated? And it was at this moment that out of nowhere, Agastya appears. One of the two greatest mentors that Rama had in his life. The first one is Viśvāmitra. Nobody can deny the impact that Viśvāmitra made on Rama. We all know that. What a great personality Viśvāmitra was, and what kind of an impact Viśvāmitra had on Rama. Another person, Agastya. His screen time is very limited, absolutely limited, lesser than Bharata. In fact, these two characters, Agastya and Bharata, they have so little screen time, and yet their impact is amazing. is out of the charts. First time Rama met Agastya in Aranyakanda when they were moving towards Dandakaranya. And Agastya had gifted him several dhanus and arrows, if you remember, because I would have definitely mentioned that's the first time Rama, Lakshmana, Sita met Agastya. Back now, this time Rama did not go to Agastya. Agastya came to him. This is known as Matsya Kishoran The Guru Tattvam, it works like this. It works in wondrous ways that we cannot fathom, we cannot imagine. There are three nyayas that are usually told in our literature. The first one is Markata Kishora Nyaya. Tell me, is it the monkey, the baby, is it the mother monkey who holds on to its baby, or is it the baby that holds on to its mother? It's the second one, not the first one. The mother doesn't care. Have you seen a mother monkey jump from one tree to another tree? It uses all its four limbs. It doesn't care. It doesn't, keep a baby with one hand and try to jump. You will never see a monkey do all such kind of acrobatic moves because it's not idiot. And it trusts its baby because the baby has only one job, only one bloody job in the entire world. Hold on to your mother with all your life. This is where the phrase Kapimushti is derived from. Usually people say that Kapimushti is something, if they make a fist like this, it's very difficult to remove it, isn't it? It's called as Kapimushti because the monkeys have that kind of a grip. It's called as monkey grip because they clutch onto their mothers. That's the first level of a Guru-Shishya Sambandha. Like how Rama and Lakshmana clutched on to Viśvāmitra. They never left him. First level. Second one, Marjar Kishoranyaya. Have you seen how a cat carries its kitten? It catches hold of them with the same set of teeth that it uses to catch its prey. For the rest of the world, it seems harassment. Okay, that's how these people are making a fortune these days. And this is exactly how the likes of some Carnatic musicians, I don't want to take the gentleman's name, that much is enough, you can understand. They grew up in the same tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara, and then they have the audacity to spit back at the same Parampara, saying that my gurus harassed me. How dare you? How dare you say all those things? They imparted knowledge to you. They carved their heart and gave it to you. Where do you think Vidya stays? How do you think Vidya is imparted? It's not something that can be understood from books and lectures and discourses. It is something that the Guru gives a part of his heart is carved out and given to Shishya. That's the greatness of Guru Shishya Parampara. And you have been a beneficiary of that parampara, and then you go on and write articles and speak and say and claim and accuse Guru Shishya Parampara of harassing the disciples. No. This is exactly how it looks for ignorant people. I hope you are not one of them. You should not be one of them. Like how when a common man looks at a cat carrying its kitten, it feels as if the cat is hurting those kitten, isn't it? Because it catches hold of those kitten with its teeth. They are sharpened. They are trained to kill. They use that teeth, the same set of teeth to catch hold of its prey. And yet it doesn't hurt. If it wants, it can cut open any animal with the same set of teeth. That's the second level. When Viśvāmitra took Rama and Lakshmana without seeking anybody's bloody permission to Mithila to show him Shivadhanus, it changed his life. It turned the graph of Rama's life, isn't it? That is Marjar Kishoranyaya. And the finest example for Matsya Kishoranyaya, it is believed, as far as I have heard, that in an ocean, when a baby fish or the mother fish remember each other, no matter how far they are from one another, they meet within a few seconds. I don't know, they must have some sort of connection. And this sort of a connection is called as Matsya Kishoranyaya. Rama did not even seek anybody's help. He felt tired. He felt helpless for a moment. No God came to his rescue. Remember, his guru came to his rescue. If we cannot learn what kind of a Guru Shishya Sambandha, Guru Shishya Parampara we had preserved in Ramayana, then Lanat hai. Even after reading Ramayana, we have not understood anything at all. What a fine example. Agastya appears in front of him. Nobody asked. Nobody sent him a chitti. Nobody wrote him a telegram. Nobody called him. Agastya appeared in front of him. Rama Rama Mahabaho Shrunuguhyam Sanatanam. Yena Sarvan Rinvatsa Samare Vijayishyasi. Look at that love when Agastya addresses Rama twice. Because grammatically it is wrong to address anybody twice. It is called as Punarupta Dosha. But when you are addressing someone with love, it is not considered as dosha. It's not a mistake if you call somebody twice. Rama Rama Mahabaho Shunu Guhyam Sanatanam. It's Guhyam. It's a secret. It's a Rahasyam. And Sanatanam, it's eternal. I'm going to tell you an eternal secret, an eternal truth. And then Sarvamangala Mangalyam, Sarvapapa Pranashanam, Chintashoka Prashmanam, Ayurvardhanam Uttamam. And then he begins Rashmimantam Samadhyantam Devasura Namaskritam. A stotra comprising the beautiful names, aesthetic names, powerful names of his Kula Daivatam. Never forget that. Divakara Tanujam, isn't it? He belonged to Divakara Vamsha. Surya Vamsha, isn't it? Rama belonged to Surya Vamsha. Therefore, Surya is their presiding deity. Kula Daivam. And Agastya just pointed towards Kula Daivam. You visit any proper astrologer, the onus is on the word proper, bold, italics, underlined, everything. Okay. When you visit a proper astrologer and when they give you an analysis and when you request them for any pariharam, any solution, do you know what the first thing that they usually tell you? To go and visit your Kula Daivam. Never, ever abandon your Kula Devata. Oh no, we don't know who is our Kula Devata, but I love Hanūmān. I don't care. I love Rama. I don't care. I have a special liking for Ganapati because Ganapati is cute. I don't care. Who is your Kula Devata? Who is your Kula Daivam? You go to your Kula Daivam. You are, because your Kula Daiva is protecting you. And you forget your Kula Daivam. What kind of a person are you? Yes, it should be embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I know this kind of talk hurts us. And many people have told me that, if you speak like this, it will only draw people away from it. I don't care. If you don't give this kind of a treatment to people, they will never understand the seriousness of this issue. How can you live? How can you breathe without knowing your Kula Daivam? It's like not knowing who is your parent. You have a parent, you have been raised by your parents, but you don't know who they are. Do you think it is a good feeling? You can remember the rest of the things in this entire world, but you don't know who your parents are. Is it okay for you if this happens? No, it isn't. We want to know who our parents are. Likewise, why can't we have the same kind of inclination, affiliation towards our Kula Daivam? At the time of distress, on the battlefield, when Rama, the great warrior, when he felt helpless, to whom should you turn towards? Towards your Kula Devata. And who taught you that? The Guru. It doesn't matter whether the Guru comes in the form of Vasishtha, Viśvāmitra, or Agastya. The Guru is a Guru. It's not a person. Guru is not a Vyakti. Guru is a Shakti. It's not that easy as spoken to understand. Oh, I see Guru Shakti. No, you don't see anything at all. Okay, trust me, it's not that easy to identify Guru Shakti. If we had identified, we would be on par with Rama. We are not. So I'm sorry. It's not that easy to understand that teachers are teachers. Guru is a guru. They are not one and the same. Aksharabandata Kalisidamam Guru. No, I'm sorry to disagree with all the great masters who wrote this. One Akshara, even if somebody teaches you one letter, he is Guru. No, that's an Arthavada. It is something told in such a way so that we respect, we have that reverence towards those people who teach us anything in life. That's all. That's the whole intention of saying that line. It doesn't mean that anybody who teaches anything becomes a guru. No, I'm sorry, they don't become a guru. Gu shabdastu andhakara syat. Gu means andhakara, the darkness that stays in our heart, that prevents us from realizing who we truly are. That is gu. And ru is the nirodhakaha, the one that eradicates, removes. He is a guru who removes the andhakara, and this andhakara must have been brought upon to us by avidya and ajnana, etc., etc. Anybody who claims themselves to be a Sadguru is not a guru. It's not a title, free of cost. 10,000 people call you a guru. Just because of that fact, you don't become a guru. You know how difficult the responsibility of a guru is. Not only should he know, or should he have achieved, and he should have achieved that moksha in his life, he should have realized what he truly is. He should have seen that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. He should have understood that Paratattva. Not only this, but he must be a qualified one. What is the qualification of a guru? A guru is somebody who is capable enough to take us by our hand through that path, removing all the obstacles in our path, not in his path. Remember that whatever obstacles that might befall in our path, he must be able to remove them, take us to the destination and bring us back. Hey, why bring us back? Why not keep us there? It's not possible, because only a proper guru understands the structure of karma. He understands how karma works. He will help you to break the cycle, the vicious cycle of life and death. And yet he won't go against the law of nature. You tell me honestly, how many people today who claim themselves to be guru have this kind of knowledge? Just because I have this knowledge, just because I am speaking all these words, I am not a guru. I'm sorry. It's a huge responsibility. And do not confer this title upon anybody that you appreciate, that you have immense respect towards. Your respect can be showed, can be expressed in other different ways. You don't have to use this word. And how pathetically have we used this word? Pa Guru and Kafi Kudiyana. This is the level that we have brought this word down. Shame on us. Such a great word. The word guru itself means weight. If it is used in neutral gender in Sanskrit, it means weight, tuka in Kannada. And we have brought the weight of that word to this level. And we don't know whom should we call guru. Agastya is a guru. Viśvāmitra is a guru. That's how even the great Rama survived. A fine example set to the entire world, that when the times get tough, even if you are not around, it doesn't matter. The guru remembers you. The guru appears in front of you. You give me one simple logical explanation on how Agastya out of the blues appeared on that battlefield. We have no explanation, right? We can't explain. Oh no, Agastya used to stay in southern part of India. He might have stayed in southern part of India, but this war is happening on the other side of the ocean. You cannot possibly practically defend the fact that Agastya was walking all these days and at this moment he reached Lanka, and on that battlefield he gave this Upadesha to Rama. No. There can only be one possible explanation, that is Matsya Kishoranyaya, the highest level of Guru Shishya Sambandha. We must strive. to achieve that. We don't know when that will happen, but all we can do is we can ask for a guru like Viśvāmitra, we can ask for a guru like Agastya in our life. That's why Aditya Hridayam is so close to all our Hridayam. The reason why it is called as Hridayam is because this. It was not something that was physically given to someone. It was passed on from Hridayam to Hridayam. The greatest kind of conversation that anybody can have. And we cannot even imagine that Agastya was not present on the battlefield, and yet he was able to give this Upadesha to Rama. Okay, fine. Sorry, this is taking somewhere else. I don't know. This needs to be told. Brahmana vardhate kshatram. Okay, there are two things that our Vedas have always claimed. If a country, if a kingdom needs to be prosperous, if this world needs to be prosperous, then Brahma and Kshatriya, they need to work hand in hand. They need to complement and complete each other. This is a fine example for that. Never forget that Rama was a Kshatriya and Agastya was a Brahmana. And when these two energies came together, that's when the evil was ended. That's when the end of Ravana happened. And after this, Sarvayatnena Mahata Vrutastasya Vadhe Bhavat. Okay. Trirachamya Shuchir Bhutva Dhanuradaya Viryavan. After listening to this Aditya Hridayam, what happened as soon as Rama listened to Aditya Hridayam? Etat Shrutva Mahateja Nashtashoko Bhavattada. His shoka was removed. There are two great enemies for mankind, shoka and moha. And Rama was able to remove shoka from his heart. Once the shoka is over, don't you remember the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Nashto mohaha smritir labdha tvatprasadan maya chuta karishye vachanantava. The clouds of moha have gone. In Rama's case, the shoka is gone. He has now understood this is the purpose. I was simply worried about, he forgot for a minute that he is fighting for Sita, he's fighting to gain Sita back, he's fighting for the sake of, to avenge whatever Ravana did to Lakshmana. All these petty things have been washed away from Rama's mind. Nashta shoko bhavattada. And then dharayamasa suprito raghava prayatatmavan. Dharayamasa. That is dharanam. Your Ashtanga Yoga's dharanam. And you thought that battlefield or war is something that happens with only skill. Only a yogi can fight. And now do not use this word in the context of Uttar Pradesh. Okay? I'm not a political person. This needs to be understood in a different way. Rama was a great yogi. That's what I meant to say. It's not the other way around. Just because Ayodhya falls in Uttar Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh falls in somebody's hand who has the same name, they make no sense at all. And then Adityam Prekshya. What did he do? Adityam Prekshya. He looked at the sun. What if it was night? Which Aditya are they talking about? Adityam Prekshya. Every time we say Adityam Prekshya, we mean immediately our mind goes to opening our eyes. As soon as we see the word Prekshya or Drishtva, anything that says after seeing, immediately our mind goes to opening our eyes. Close your eyes. Antaschakshuhu. Open your inner eyes. Adityam Prekshya. Japtvedam Param Harshamavaptavan. And then what did he do? Trirachamya. Yes, supposed to do Achamanam. In many occasions, you want to know at what all times one needs to perform Achamanam. And Achamanam is not only related to Brahmanas. Do not come with this kind of a nonsensical claim. It is applicable to all Trivarnikas. And what happens to those people who do not belong to Trivarna, but they have to maintain Shuchitva? Shuchitva is vital for any yoga sadhana. Any sadhana you do, Shuchitva is important. Without being Shuchi, how can you do anything? Even the war could not happen without Rama becoming Shuchi. Trirajam Shuchir Bhutva Dhanuradaya Viryavan. Shuddhachamanam, that's why it is called a Shuddhachamanam. And for those people who are not allowed to do Achamanam, Mantrachamanam, they are always asked to wash their feet and hands before they begin anything. They are always asked to wash their face. You see, our farmers, old generation, if they were called upon by a person of high value, do you know how they used to approach them? By washing their feet, by washing their hand, and by washing their face. Why? Because they were told to do so, because they were suppressed to do so. Shoot those idiots who tell you all these kind of lies. It's not like that. It's natural, because you have to do Shuddhachamanam. You have to gain, you have to regain that composure. My teacher used to tell us this. Have you observed what has happened in your body before you do Achamanam? And what happens? What changes do you perceive after you do Achamanam? Remarkable differences are there. If you know how to analyze your own body, we don't know how to analyze our own body. We don't know what changes go on in our body. We think that we remain the same even after consuming 100 kgs of onion every day for a course of time. We think that we can do anything. No, we cannot do anything. We need to study our own body. Only then we will be able to understand. Sorry, I know this is taking too many detours, but these things need to be told. This is the whole purpose of Ramayana, Martya Shikshanam. Okay, fine. Going on. Ravanam Prekshya. And now all of a sudden, Dhanuradaya Vidyavan. Rama did 3 Achamanam, Shuddhachamanam, and then he took his bow and Ravanam Prekshya. Imagine, just look at the changes that happened. Ravanancha agrato drishtva yuddhaya samupasthitam yuddha parishrantam chintaya sthitam. Earlier, when he saw Ravana in front of him, Rama was chintaya sthitam. He was saddened, he was upset, he was worried, he was anxious, he was desperate. But look at now, Ravanam Preksha Krishtatma. He felt very happy after looking at Ravana. And then Jayartham Samupagamat. I said, he took a step for Vijaya. He took a step for triumph. From here onwards, there is no stopping Rama from killing Ravana. And then in 106th, this comes in 105th Sarga of Valmiki Ramayanam Uttarakanda. This Aditya Hridayam. This part is called as Aditya Hridayam. It is called as Aditya Hridayam because it reveals Hridayam, the heart of Aditya Tattva. 12 Adityas, isn't it? Dvadasha Adityaha. And how many Jyotirlingas are there in our country? 12 Jyotirlingas. Isn't it? So they have some sort of connection. Sorry, I have spoken too much. Okay, moving on. Because I know you will start asking questions related to this then. I'm not prepared today. I'm prepared, but I don't want to reveal all the details to you on the same day. It's not a written law that I should answer every question that you ask. Because that's how our teachers used to do. Spashtamagre bhavishyati. Hey, why should I answer you this now? Spashtamagre bhavishyati. It will be clear to you in future. Oh, really? Yes, it works. It has worked. That's how strongly I believe that when I say this to somebody, it shall work. Okay, fine. Focus. Moving on. Now, after this, Rama observes all the types of bad omens that were going on in and around Ravana. And he observes a kind of speed was there in his hands. He felt a kind of joy that he had never experienced before when he was fighting Rama. You see, he was jumping up with joy. When you play with joy, this is what usually they say in sports. When you play with joy, when you play fearless, you become successful. Likewise, Rama was fearless. He had removed all the shoka from his mind, and he was feeling that joy in his heart. And that was evident that this is Vijaya Suchakam. This is telling me that I am going to be victorious over Ravana. And then Parasparavadhe Yuktam, Ghora Rupa Ubabhruvatu. And they performed so many acts of warfare that Valmiki runs out of words. And if you are truly interested in warfare, how to describe a battle, read 107th chapter of Uttarakanda. It describes what kind of astras both of them used against one another, and how both of them were capable enough to negate each other. It was a never-ending show. And Bhaskaro Nishprabhaschasit. Even the sun forgot to glow because they were invested looking at Rama and Ravana fighting each other. This is what they mean when they say that the world came to a halt. And the entire world stopped for a minute, not for a minute, for the complete duration of Rama Ravana Yuddha. The winds did not blow, the fire did not lit up, the water did not flow, and the sun did not glow. Everything came to a standstill. It was picturesque. If you took a picture, that's how exactly the world would look. Everything came to a halt. And Swastigo Brahmanebhyastu Lokastishtantu Shashvataha Jayatam Raghavas Sankhye Ravanam Rakshaseshwaram. So they said that Jayatam Raghavas Sankhye. The word Sankhya here refers to Yuddha. Sankhya means Yuddha. Okay. Let Rama be victorious in this battle. Let Rama gain victory over Ravana. Everybody, they did japam of this. Now you know why when something befalls on us, something natural disaster happens to us, any disaster that happens to us, we all tend to move towards divine intervention. So everybody wanted the good of Rama to triumph over the evil Ravana. And this is when Valmiki claims Gaganam Gaganakaram Sagara Sagaropama. The sky can only be compared with the sky, and not Surya Kumar Yadav, okay? Actual sky. The sky can only be compared with the sky. The ocean can only be compared with the ocean. Rama Ravana yor yuddham, Rama Ravana yoriva. The battle between Rama and Ravana can be compared only and only with Rama and Ravana's battle. No other battle can come even closer to what the battle was between Rama and Ravana. The greatest ever battle that was fought on this land. If somebody asks a question related to our history, we must be proudly saying the greatest ever battle that happened on our country was between Rama and Ravana, not Battle of Panipat. I'm sorry. I have no disregard towards the immediate history that we have been following. I have immense respect for them, but with all due respect, the greatest ever battle that happened in the history of mankind is Rama versus Ravana, period. No need to carry this forward, because Valmiki himself has put that period here. Rama Ravana yor yuddham, Rama Ravana yoriva. Then he started shooting arrows directly at his Kantha Desha. 10 times Rama shot an arrow, and he actually succeeded in beheading Ravana 10 times. And all the times, it came back. Tat pravrittam mahadyuddham tumulam romaharshanam. And how was this Rama Ravana Yuddha? Naiva Ratrim. It did not care for the Ratri. I mean, they did not know whether it is the night. Nadivasam, Namuhurtam, Nachakshanam. They were not able to keep a tab on time. At what time did Rama use Agneyastra at Ravana? Modern historians question this because they are idiots. It is not possible to document all these things. Naiva Ratrim, Nadivasam, Namuhurtam, Nachakshanam. Forget about Muhurtam, Nachakshanam. You could not even count a small fraction of a second. Rama Ravana yor yuddham, Viramam upagacchati, because it did not even stop for a small fraction of a second. Rama Ravana Yuddha. It went on. That's the intensity that we are talking about. And at this time, Matali reminded him that you're doing a mistake. He has been given a boon from Pitamaha Brahma. That's why he's called as Dashamukha or Dashanana. Do not aim at his head, aim for his heart. You have to kill the evil. You have to kill the heart of the evil, not the head of the evil. Okay. Because, even the Americans thought that, killing Saddam Hussein is killing and like beheading the evil. Look how much evil still exists in this world, because they themselves are the evil. That's what I meant. Okay. not the other way around. Sorry, I'm not supposed to make any political comments, but I cannot hold myself back when it comes to America and their ridiculous nature of trying to dominate the narrative. Once upon a time, it was the UK that did this to the rest of the world. They tried to dominate the narrative. They succeeded. They bloody ruled us for 300 years, and all our education system is messed up, courtesy of them. And now the Americans are trying to do the same thing, because for them, true power is narrative. He who holds the narrative holds the true power. If I start narrating to the world that the world began with Big Bang, this is the only true evolution theory. If you have the power, if you call yourself top 100, if you call all the universities of your country belonging to the top 100 universities of this world, I mean, how messed up is the ranking system? Who made all these criteria? We never give a thought to this. How come our the Gurukulas that have been maintaining the legacy, the parampara for so long, how come they are not up to that rank? Because they don't have the scientific rigor that it takes. I don't want to comment on that. What scientific rigor? You make your own criterion, and you want to put all your universities in that criteria, and then you want the world to challenge you and rise to that top. I don't understand the logic at all. Okay, fine, sorry. So that should not happen. Okay, you have to shoot at the heart of the evil, like how Rama shot Brahmastram. Brahmana nirmitam purvam indrartham amitaujasa. Long ago, for the very first time, Brahma created this Brahmastra for the sake of Indra. He gifted it to Indra to remove the evil from the world. And Rama used that Brahmastra. And when he took that Brahmastra, when he kept that Brahmastra on his dhanus, Abhimantriya tato Ramastam Mahesh Mahabalaha, how did he put that? This is Valmiki for you. It was purely a Vedic karma. It was a Vedic ritual. This doesn't bode well with all the liberals. Who cares about them? This is the line from Ramayana. I want all of you to remember this line for the rest of your lives. And Rama wanted to kill Ravana. When Lakshmana wanted to kill Indrajit, he used Rama. Rama was Veda Murti for him. But when Rama wanted to kill Ravana, he invoked the Veda. Abhimantriya tato Ramastam Maheshum Mahabalaha Veda Proktena Vidhina. That Vidhi has been told in our Vedas. He used the same Vidhi that has been told in the Vedas. Veda Proktena Vidhina Sandadhe Karmuke Bali. And he took, he placed that arrow on his dhanus, and then for a moment, Tasmin Sandhiyamane tu Raghavena Sharottame Sarvabhutani Santresu. The entire universe, the entire world became anxious for a moment. And Chachalacha Vasundhara, the earth started to shiver and quake, because Brahmastra has been used. You see the level at which the word Brahmastra is used, and look how funny it has become today. Who is responsible for this? And then Chikshepa Paramayataha, and he shot that arrow. Savajraiva Durdharsho Vajribahur Visarjitaha Kritandaiva Chavaryo Nyapatad Ravanorasi. It hit directly the chest of Ravana, Bibheda Hridayam Tasya, and it broke the Hridaya of Ravana. Rudhiraktasya vegena sharirantakara sharaha. Only one arrow was sufficient to kill him, to kill Ravana. One arrow shot directly at his heart, and he was down. Gatasuhu bhima vegastu nairtendro mahadyutihi papatasyandana dhumo vrutro vajrahato yatha. He was a mountain, Ravana. You remember? And he fell down. And the entire world breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, the Ravana is over. Ravana is done. Okay, 22nd session. It says Uttarakanda. Who cares about it? Ravana is finally done. And now you will see different shades of different people. First and foremost, welcome Vibhishana. Started crying. Yes, heard it right. He felt Yannadarpat Prahastova Nendrajanma Paredanaha. Gatasedo Sunitanam. He starts praising his brother Ravana. Sunitanam Setuhu. He was a bridge for all the great Rajanitis. What is this? This is what Shoka does to people. This is what Moha does to people. This is what attachment, Raga, does to people. Okay. Gata Satvasya Sankshepaha. Vibhishana is calling Ravana Satvasya Sankshepaha, a miniature version of Satvaguna. Okay. Do not follow the Vibhishana that is present in 109th Sarga of Uttarakanda, because he is overwhelmed with grief. That's why he's speaking all these things. Okay. So Rama then tries to console him. He says, do not weep for him. Kshatriyo nihata sankhya nashochiti nishchayaha. A warrior, when he falls down, when he fell down, when he has fell down on the battlefield, he is not supposed to be cried over. He's not supposed to be cried about. When a soldier dies, you are not supposed to cry, because he has done a great sacrifice in the Rana Yajnam. I mean, after submitting or after offering a samit, okay, after offering payasam to Agni, do you cry? Oh my God, I lost so much of Dravya today. You don't cry. And that's the kind of thinking you need to have if you are going to be a warrior. That's how Rama is trying to teach and train Vibhishana. And this is Rana Yajna, and a Kshatriya is down. So you should not worry about him. You should not cry for him. Naikanta Vijayo Yuddhe, one of the iconic lines of Ramayana. Yuddha never guarantees victory to any one person. And you saw that throughout this narration, that it was either way. It was like a pendulum. It could have ended up anywhere. Okay. Parairvahanyate viraha, paranvahanti sanyuge. Either you are killed by great warriors, or you kill great warriors. This is the only possible outcome of yuddha, of any yuddha. And then he says that this is the time for you to perform his final rites. Think, Maranantani Vairani, how come I cannot say this line and end this? Rama says this. Only, remember this, only Rama can say this line. Nobody else in the world can utter this line. No one else has copyrights whatsoever to utter this line. He says this to Vibhishana immediately after killing Ravana, after fighting him for so many days, after going through so much of struggle, so much of chaos in his life, and finally he downs Ravana. And when Vibhishana is weeping over his brother, this is what Rama has to say. Maranantani Vairani. It's true that I had rivalry with Ravana, but when does rivalry end? With Marana. Maranantani Vairani. If a person is dead, your enmity with that person goes away. That's when your enmity should end. You should not hate somebody who is already dead. Okay. Until and unless they are Aurangzeb, or kind of Aurangzeb. Okay. We are not hating them. We remember them, not fondly, not gently. diligently. Okay, wordplay. It's not a gentle reminder. It's a diligent reminder that he was a barbarian who killed thousands of innocent people. That's okay. That's only remembering, not remembering, it's reminding ourselves. And what happens when a barbarian comes to our shore? What happens when a barbarian knocks on our door? That we need to remember, that's all. But if there is a sworn enmity between you and someone else, and if that person is dead, you don't carry forward that enmity with their family. That's what Rama means when he says, Maranantani Vairani. And then Nirvrittam Naf Prayojanam. We got what we wanted. We wanted to end Ravana. Ravana is gone. Ravana is ended. Kriyatamasya samskaraha. Perform his final rites. If you thought that this is where Rama's greatness ends, wait for the end. Mama pyesha yatha. He is similar to me as he is to you. After the end of war, after Ravana is dead, Rama says that if you do not perform his final rites, he shall perform his final rites, because he's also like a brother to me. Can you show me any one person in the entire history of mankind who could make such a remark after killing his bloodiest enemy on the battlefield? On the battlefield, at the heat of the moment, Rama says this: Maranantani Vairani, Nirvrittam Naf Prayojanam, Kriyatamasya Samskaraha, Yatha Pyesha.
Kenaga idhan charto ghar.
Mama Pyesha Yatha Tava.
Gombe be sensan karmale
go. What he is to you, he is similar to me, like how he is to you. He is a brother to you, isn't it? He's speaking to Vibhishana. He is a brother to me as well. You do his samskara, or I will do his samskara. That is Rama for you. Not in 1,000 years. No missionaries, no propagandists can ever replace the image of Rama from the minds of our people. I challenge them to do so. They cannot do that because they cannot find an alternative for this kind of a person. Na koi paida hua hai, na koi paida hoga, who can replace the place Rama has occupied in the minds of Indian people. They cannot remove it, not clinically, not in any other way. It's not possible at all, because this is the kind of Rama that we have. He is our property. He is our treasure. He needs to be worshipped in our heart every single day of our life, because he gave us this highway. He was the same one who threatened Sugrīva. Najasankuchitah pantha yena Vālī hato gataha. He is the same Rama who threatened to diminish the entire ocean. He is the same Rama who killed Ravana. And at the end of it, when Vibhishana was weeping, and Vibhishana says that, how can I perform any samskara to this fellow? I do not want to. I'm a killer. It was my plan that killed him. If I had stayed with him, I would have fought for him, and I should have fought for him and died. And when Vibhishana lost the purpose of his life, when he started dwindling, even the great Bhagavatottama like Vibhishana dwindles. That's the power of nature. That's how strong the currents of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas is. It won't leave anybody. It can shake even the likes of Vibhishana. And when Vibhishana was shook to the core, who came to his rescue? Our Rama came to his rescue. And he said that, Maranantani Vairani. Now, my teacher used to say this line should be carved in gold. Maranantani Vairani. Nirvrittam Naf Prayojanam. Kriyatamasya samskaraha. Mama pyesha yatha tava. And then all the wives of Ravana weep. And then comes Mandodari. Okay. She's not Mandodari, she is Mandodari. Manda Udara is Mandodara. Mandodari. Mandodari comes. She looks at Ravana. She does her duty. She cries because she misses him very much. She was his wife. Of course, she would miss him. And then, Sarvatas samupetya tavatena bhimarshanam. She says that this is not the work of Rama, because a normal human being cannot do this. She is the only woman who understood that. Only woman who understood that this is not a work of a human being, because a human being cannot do this. Nachaitat karma ramasya shraddha dhami chamu mukhe mayantava vinashaya vidhaya pratitarkitam. She is speaking to Ravana, and she says that I think maybe this is a maya that was created for your end, to end your life. A maya was created in the form of Rama. I don't think Rama is capable to do this, because she is still in denial. And then one of the greatest ever revelations made by Mandodari. Never forget that Mandodari is one of the Panchakam, the 5 great women that every man should remember every day of their life. Ahalya, Draupadi, Sita, Tara, Mandodari Tatha. Mandodari is included in that list because she was the one who could pierce through the human form of Rama and reveal his true nature to the world. She was the first one to do so. Look at her words. Athava vasavenatvam dharshitosi mahabala. First she thought that it could be possible that you are sent by Vasava, that is Indra. And then she realizes that Vasavasya tukha shakti tvaham drashtumapi sanyuge. Indra cannot even stand in front of you in the Yuddha. Therefore, it is not Indra's creation. Indra could not manage this kind of a warrior. Vyaktamesha Mahayogi. This is the revelation of Rama. Mahayogi. Remember the word. This is how a true sadhaka would remember Rama. Mahayogi. Mandodari was the true sadhaka. What else do I have to tell you? These 2 lines are sufficient. Vyaktamesha Mahayogi, Paramatma, Sanatanaha. The words are self-explanatory. I don't have to explain anything. Tamasaf Paramodhata. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. Adityavarnam Tamasaf Parastate. Purushasuktam. This is Purushasuktam for you. And when Mandodari saw Rama, Purushasuktam came out of her. That does not mean that she started chanting Tachanyora Vrini. No. Because there was no Vedadhikara for Striyaha. And that is true. But she could realize the Vedartha. There is no difference between Adityavarnam Tamasaf Parastat and Tamasaf Paramodhata. What is the difference between these 2 lines? No difference at all. One requires a different set of skills and different set of discipline. Another one requires a different set of skill and different set of discipline. And Mandodari was disciplined enough so she could reach the same bloody destination. Nobody denied her because she was a woman. She was not denied of Vedartha. The Vedartha is Adityavarnam Tamasaf Parastat. Isn't it not? Is it not? That is the Vedartha. And did not Mandodari reach that destination? She did reach. In spite of being married to the terrorist, Ravana, she reached. That, my friends, is the power of a woman. That is the power of being a pativrata. Do not ever question what is the vitality, what is the relevance of being a pativrata. Do you need any better example than Mandodari? Tamasaf Paramodhata, Shankhachakragatadharaha, Srivatsavakshaha, Nityashri Ajaya Shashvato Dhruvaha. And then, who is he actually? Manusham Rupamasthaya Vishnu Satya Parakrama. The word Vishnu here does not refer to the 4, Chaturbahu Vishnu, not that Vishnu. The word Vishnu here refers to Parabrahma Tattvam, the ultimate truth. That's why it is called as Satya Parakrama. Because only the ultimate truth, only the Paratattvam, only the Paramatma Tattvam can be both Satya, that is Brahma, and Parakrama, that is Kshatra. Brahma Kshatra, the unity of Brahma Kshatra can be seen in Paramatma Tattvam, that is Rama. That's how Mandodari understood Rama. And she is seeing Rama for the first time in her entire life. Never forget that. What was the problem with other people? They were all with him. They could not see Rama like this. Vyaktamesha Mahayogi, nobody said this. There was one person who claimed this, if you remember correctly. This is how you bring an epic. You join an epic. Yeah, my guru used to say this. How do you judge a poet? How do you judge a work? If you can connect point A and point B in a circle. It all started with Viśvāmitra claiming that Aham vedmi mahatmanam Ramam Satyaparakramam. Isn't it? This is the line that Viśvāmitra said to Daśaratha in his court when he said that I know who Rama is. I know that Rama is Satyaparakrama. And look at Mandodari at the end of Ramayana saying that Vishnu Satyaparakramah. This is how a proper epic is written. This is how a proper work gets to conclude. It starts from the same point and ends at the same point. Satyaparakrama. That is Rama for you. If anybody asks you to describe Rama in one word, describe Rama in Valmiki's favorite word, Satyaparakrama. The entire story of Ramayana is hidden in the word Satyaparakrama. Okay, and then she cried and all those things, and she asks Rama to kill her as well, but Rama denies her, and then Rama asks Vibhishana to perform the final rites. The final rites of Ravana is performed. The story of Ravana has ended here. And then Vibhishana's Pattabhisheka is also done. He is crowned as the king of Lanka, as promised by Rama. You remember, on the other side of the ocean, he took the water of ocean and poured it on the head of Vibhishana and said that, I crown you as the king of Lanka. And he kept his word. So, when our Bhagavan makes a promise to us, he always keeps his promise. He always keeps his word. Because he is not human like us, because he is not an idiot like us who forgets his word. If he says that, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshaishyami ma shuchaha. When Bhagavan speaks like this, he means it. He means each and every syllable of it. He will take care of it. Ma shuchaha. Okay, and he will take care of all those things. He is the greatest ever Markata. When it comes to Markata Kishora Nyaya, in the context of Markata Kishora Nyaya, Bhagavan, our God, our Paramatma, our Guru, is the greatest ever Markata. Why? Because the mother has made an unconditional, the mother monkey has made an unconditional promise to its baby that it shall take care of it. The only thing the baby monkey needs to do is clutch on to her, hold on to her. Do not leave her. Do not abandon her. That's all. Okay. When Rama said that, Vibhishano va Sugrīva yadiva Ravana svayam abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadam yetad vratam mama. He means it. Nahamarthaparo devi lokamavastu mutsahe vidhimam rishabhestulyam satya dharme pratishthitam. And he said this to Kaikeyi before he left for forest. Do not consider me a common man craving for the wealth of this kingdom. Vidhimam rishabhestulyam. I am equivalent to a rishi, Rama claimed. And he lived a life of rishi. And you will see the rishitvam of Rama in a few moments. Rama sends Hanūmān to Sīta to give her a message. Kritakaryam samruddhartham. Okay. Pravishya nagarim lankam. Enter Lanka. Kaushalam bruhi Maithilim. Ask Maithili, Sita, about her well-being. And tell her that Ravana is dead. give her the news. Priyametada ihakhyahi Vaidehyaastum Harishvara, and then Pratigrihyatu Sandesham Upavartitum Arhasi. Pratisandesham. Okay. Take her return message and come back and report to me. Hanūmān went there and he described her entire war, whatever has happened, very briefly. Valmiki, brilliant author, so that nobody should forget what the story has happened so far. He never forgets to do that. So he gave all these things, and then Hanūmān asks a simple thing to Sīta. You see these women, Mate, all these people, all these women have been very cruel to you, because I have witnessed it with my own eyes. Give me an order. I want to hurt them. And Sīta, as only Sīta could speak, she says that no. Raja samshraya vashyanam kurvatinam paragnyaya vidheyanam chadasinam kahkupya dvanarottama. She asks, see, people who are following the orders of the king and doing whatever their king asks them to do, how can you ever be upset on them? It's not that they are doing it on their own. They were forced to do so because they were ordered to do so by their king. So you should not get angry at them. It makes no sense at all. Leave them. Let them live. This is the greatness of heart that Sīta possessed. Papanam va, shubhanam va, whether they are good to you or bad to you in life, vadharhanam, karyam karunyam aryena, you should always be forgiving. Nakaschin aparadhyati. It's not that nobody ever commits a mistake in life. Everybody commits a mistake in life. What iconic lines, I tell you. I mean, I have not told you several of such lines that Sīta has spoken. Eti jeevantamanando naram varshashatadapi. All these kind of things. So finally she says that lokahimsa viharanam kruranam papakarmanam kurvatamupi papani naiva karyam ashobhanam. Even if they do bad to us, we should not respond them back by doing bad to them. Okay, but Ramdhari Singh Dinakar do not approve of this kind of attitude. Okay, so he says that nobody is scared of a snake that is visharahit, dantahina visharahit. Okay, nobody is scared of a toothless snake. So we should not be a toothless snake. But this is the karunyam of Sīta. Sītamma mayamma. In Tyagaraja's words, this is my mother speaking. So you cannot expect my mother to be like Rama. Samudram shoshayishyami padbhyam yantu. No, that's not a word spoken by our mother. That's the kind of word my father would speak. My Rama would speak. My mother would always be like this. There are no other father, mother. Sapita pitarastasam kevalam janmahetavaha. Kalidasa says that in Raghuvamsha. Dilipa was such a great king that he was father, he was the mother to all his subjects. And then what about their parents? Kevalam janmahetavaha. Biological nimittams, biological reasons for them to exist. Kalidasa for you. That's the power of a king. He is called as Raja Rama, isn't it? He is Raja Rama. He is Raja as well as Rama. Not Raja Rama, Mohan Rai wala Raja Rama. This is a different Raja Rama. Raja Sarvasya Lokasya. Okay. So Hanūmān asked that only Ramapatni can speak like this. Of course, only Ramapatni can. No, I'm not making this up. I'm not at all making this up. See, I will quote you from here. Pratyuvacha tadasītam Ramapatni maninditam. See, and then Yukta Ramasya bhavati dharmapatni gunanvita. You truly deserve to be the dharmapatni of Rama, because only a dharmapatni of Rama could speak like this. And then Pratisandishamam Devi, what is your message? What message should I carry back to Rama? She says that Drashtumichhami bhartaram bhaktavatsalam. I want to see my pati. Okay, Purnachandramukham Ramam Rakshasyadyasta Lakshmanam. Hanūmān gave a bit more, elevation to that. You will see the Purnachandra Nibham, Rama's face glowing as Purnachandra. You will see it today itself. Okay. Came back to Rama, gave that Sandesha. And now, Agachat Sahasa Dhyanam Ishad Bashpa Pariprataha. Drashtumichami Bhartaram iti Paryakulekshana. So Hanūmān told Rama that Sita gave this message to be given to you, that she wants to see you. Drashtumichami Bhartaram. Agachat Sahasa Dhyanam Ishad Bashpa Pariprataha. Rama sat down for a minute, and in a meditating pose, he sat down, and his eyes filled with tears for a moment. This is where Valmiki excels. No other poet can even hover around Valmiki in this chapter. The greatest ever chapter, if you ask me, when it comes to managing human emotions. A mirror to human emotions, that Valmiki says. See? And then, Sadirgham Abhinishvasya. I want this to be a picturesque moment in your eyes, because this is the moment that actually defines what Rama is, what Sita is, and what Sita Rama is. Okay. So he took a deep breath, and then Jagatim Avaloken, he looked at Mother Earth. Jagati means Bhumi. He looked at Earth. And then he said that Megha Sankasham. All of a sudden, Rama's voice was, as deep as a thundering cloud. Megha Sankasham. Vibhishanam upasthinam. He addressed Vibhishana. Divyangaragam Vaidehim. Divyabharana Bhushitam. She should apply Divyangaraga. Angaraga is moisturizer, body lotion, blah blah blah. Okay, Divyangaraga, Divyabharana Bhushitam. She should have all the ornaments, divine ornaments. Shirasnata. She should have a head bath. Hey, what kind of a man he is? Just listen. Upasthapaya Machiram. Without delay, bring her here with all these things. Bring her like a queen, in other words. Evamuktasturāmena tvaramāno Vibhishana. Vibhishana went immediately to Sita, and she said that Vibhishana said that I have been ordered by Rama, so and so. So these are the dasis, they will help you to all these things. Tasya tadvachanam shrutva Maithili patidevata bhartrbhaktya vrata sadhvi tatheti pratyabhashata. Okay, so Sita thought that, okay, fine, this must be the order of Rama, then I should follow it. And then Shirasnata Sanyuktam Pratikarmana Maharha Bharanopeta Maharhambardharini. And she was kept on that Shibika, Pallaki, Palkin in English, I guess. And I don't remember, but you understood the fact, So people carried her. Rakshobhihi Bahubhir Guptam. So many people surrounded her, protecting. She was brought to the battlefield like how a queen is supposed to be brought. So, Sobhigamya Mahatmanam Jnatvapi Dhyanamastidam. But Rama has not opened his eyes. Dhyanamastidam. He is in his dhyana posture. Bhagavan Rama. Vyaktamesha Mahayogi. Remember that. He is a Mahayogi, so he is in his dhyana murti. And even though Vibhishana knew that Rama was in dhyana, he had to disturb him. So he came to him, Pranatascha, Prahrishtascha, Praptam Sitan Nyavedet. He bowed down to him, and he was very happy that finally Sītāparahārama Samāgama is happening. People, I tell you. He was very happy. He disturbed Rama. I said, Sita Mata is here. Okay. Remember this line. Remember this line. Tama Gatam Upashritya. So Rama heard that Sita is here. He was in deep dhyana. He was in deep samadhi, Rama. So he came out of that samadhi. Okay. You must remember that he was in a different world altogether. He was in a different level. He had gained that ultimate. He was at the zenith of yoga. He was in that samadhi. And he heard that Sita is here. That after staying in Ravana's house for so long, Sita is finally here. Rosham, Harsham, Chadainyancha, Raghava Prapa Shatruha. 3 emotions came simultaneously to Rama. 3 emotions. Rosha. Okay. And then Harsha. Rosha, because he could not protect her when it mattered the most. She was abducted right when he was in and around that place. Rosha. Harsham, after so long, he's able to see his wife. And Dainyam, he felt sorry that Sita had to go through so many things in her life without her mistake. Remember these 3 emotions that entered Rama. If we were in the place of Rama, do you think we would be able to respond to anything? We don't even know how to manage 2 emotions, 2 contrasting emotions when they come to us. We call it depression. We go to a psychiatrist. We do all the nonsensical business on social media. Here is Rama for you. Rosham Harshancha Dainyancha Raghava Prapa Shatruha. And what is the solution? The solution is Dhyana Masthidaha. Remember, that is the only solution which will put all the psychiatrists out of job for good. Samadhi. Tato Yanagatam Sitam Savimarsham Vicharin. Now he saw that Sita is on the palkin. He said that Rakshasadhipate Saumya Nityam Mad Vijayartaha. Vibhishana, you have always been very kind to me. You have always been on my side. Let Sita come to me quickly as possible. Why are they delaying it? Okay. Turnamutsaranam tatra karayamasa dharmamit. So he said that, okay, leave, make space, make road for Sita so that she can approach Rama quickly. Because it was being delayed. Everybody wanted to see the beauty of Palkin. Sita was covered. Okay, Sita was covered. Yeah, it was all those things. So Rikshana Manarana, so he started to disperse the crowd. Sambrambha Chabravid Rama Chakshusha Pradahanniva. Rama looked at all those people as if he's going to burn them all with his eyes. And then he spoke. Vibhishanam, he spoke to Vibhishana. Why are you delaying it even after I gave you an order? Nivartayainam udvegam janoyam swajano mama. Do not hurt the people. These people have fought for me. These people have led their lives for me. So do not send them away. Nagrihani, Navastrani, Naprakara Stiraskriya, Nedrisha Rajasatkaraha, Vrittamavaranam Striyaha. All these kind of things should not be considered for a stree when Vyasaneshu, Nakrichreshu, Nayuddheshu, Swayamvare, Nakratau, no Vivaheva, Darshanam Dushyate Striyaha. It does not create any kind of papa if you see a parastri during all these circumstances, during all these situations. Kratau in the yajnam, in vivaha, or when she is in distress, in the battlefield, and in a swayamvara. These are special occasions when it is not wrong to see another woman, a woman who belongs to someone else. Darshane nasti dosho syaha. So there is no dosha. So Vibhishana wanted to maintain the dignity of Sita. So therefore he was like, removing people, making space for her. So Rama says, I know I'm late by 5 minutes. Please excuse me, but this cannot be stopped. I'm very sorry. This cannot be stopped anywhere here. So that's why I'm moving. And also, I think you all owe me some 5-10 minutes from the previous things. So it's okay, I believe. So he says that she should, there is no harm if people look at her, especially when she is with me. Every word needs to be weighed in gold, because this is where Rama's character is brutally judged by half-witted, raw-minded, impotent people. Not important. I hope you understood. This is the moment where Rama is judged by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So this is why I'm going so much into detail. Each and every word needs to be studied with that much of care. So get her out of the palkin, let her walk. Evam muktastu Ramena, Savimarsho Vibhishanaha. So Sita, okay. So then Lakshmana, Sugrīva, Hanūmān, Vibhishana, they all covered her on 4 sides, and she started walking. But they were all hurt very much. Why is Rama speaking like this all of a sudden? What happened to him? Why is he talking like this? I mean, it's his wife. She is supposed to be the queen, and we are treating her as she is supposed to be the queen. Apritamiva Sītāyam tarkayanti sma Raghavam. And they all thought that maybe Rama is not liking her, his wife. That's why he's speaking to her in public. And how can he do that? Okay. Vismayacha, praharshacha, snehacha, patidevata. 3 emotions that befall Rama simultaneously. Rosham, harshancha, dainyancha, isn't it? If you remember, the 3 emotions that befall Sita simultaneously. Vismaya, she was astonished for a moment. Vismayat. Praharsha, she was happy to see Rama. And Sneha, she was having that Sneha, that love towards Rama. Udaikshatā mukham bhartu. She looked at Rama's face with these 3 emotions. The power of 3, I tell you. This is where the word Sita Rama's heart, the soul, the heart and soul of word Sita Rama lies in this chapter. This chapter is a gold mine, I tell you. Every word needs to be studied at least a minimum of 100 times in order to get to the depth of what Valmiki is trying to convey us. Udaikshatā mukham bhartu. She saw Rama's face. And what happened later, what followed later, we shall see in the next week. Yeah, don't worry, I will cover Uttarakanda story as well. It's only annexure stories, that's all. The main part of story is this one. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I have taken 8 minutes. I'm very sorry for the extra minutes that I have taken, but this is where we will take a pause. We will see what happens after this. If you have any questions related to today's session or anything related to Ramayana, you can share them. Okay. No questions are silly. So
Thank you, sir. Beyond Rama,
nimittas that Ravana Sarathi saw before he took Ravana back to Lanka. True. Were those things visible only to him, or were they actual things happening around him? They were actual things happening around him. They were all, I mean, anybody with that heart, anybody with that vision, anybody with that subtlety could have observed it. If so, would the same things have been visible to? Of course, it was visible to Rama as well. Rama explains that.
See, so were they not bad omens for him as well?
Sorry.
So in that case, were they not bad omens from his side as well?
This is where it gets interesting. See, the nature speaks to everyone in a common tongue. Your place, the time, the position, the wind, your breathing, all these things play a vital role in interpreting the message, the coded message that we receive from the nature. So how do we determine that this is a bad omen or a good omen? Omen by themselves, the situations created in nature themselves are neither bad nor good. They are merely circumstances created in nature. But how do we determine whether this is good or bad? It's based on our features. How is our body, how is our mind responding to this kind of nature's call? That determines.
Okay,
so where I am standing, it is not inauspicious to me, but where Ravana is standing, it is inauspicious to him. In his direction, it is inauspicious. In my direction, it's not inauspicious. That's all.
So that was my question. Basically, you were talking about this anti-clockwise, right? So I'm thinking whether these two people are facing opposite directions. Is that why Rama's side is seeing it as clockwise? I actually drew the picture and tried to think whether that is what it is. That's where the question came from, actually.
Usually what happens is when they say this clockwise and anti-clockwise, generally we have only half of a thing that has survived in our parampara. if a cat crosses our path, we fail to observe from which side did the cat cross our path and where did it end. Was it Ardha Chandrakriti or was it a complete circle? Did it go around us or did it end somewhere else? You need to draw a circle around you and then have this minimum geometrical knowledge to understand whether it was a half circle, quarter circle, full circle, and how long did it go, radius, diameter. All these things are natural. And this is how it is calculated. And when we say that the animals were moving anti-clockwise, they need not run around us anti-clockwise. They look at us. Sometimes you must have seen that on the street. The dogs, what they do is they look at somebody and then they start turning clockwise or anti-clockwise. How do you determine clockwise or anti-clockwise? Based on their position, based on the position of the dog. If the dog moves from its right to left, then it is clockwise. It is anti-clockwise. If it moves, no, it is clockwise. If it moves from its right to left, it comes like this, then it is clockwise. If it moves from its left to right, the dog in its own position, then it is anti-clockwise. And we have to observe that, how these are doing. And there are few more, technicalities here involved. It is not at all silly. Never. There is so much of technicality involved in this that there are 4 classifications here. It is called as Deepta. That much is enough. Okay. And another 3. I cannot reveal all the things. So based on the position, from which exact direction, did you see that animal, or did you hear that bird? Was it Purva? Was it Ishanya? Was it Agneya? Was it Nairitya? It all matters. So it's pure science. Oh, absolutely pure science. So it is visible. You can study. It takes greater skill to study not only the omens for ourselves, but also to study someone else's omens. That takes plenty brain. Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Oh, Ramya madam,
Why does Rama ask Sita to walk like with anger? I mean, I didn't get that part.
It was not out of anger, not entirely out of anger.
Okay.
The anger in the sense because of the delay caused by Vibhishana. It was Vibhishana who was causing a chaos out there because people had surrounded the place, the path through which Sita was being carried on. So what Rama meant was, why are you disturbing and dispersing the people? You should not do that. Okay. Because these people have laid their lives for me. Therefore, do not disturb them. Do not create chaos amongst them. Let her walk. Let her come through. So that's all. I mean, he was angry at Vibhishana for not following his order to the last syllable. That's all. He was not angry at Sita.
Let her walk. You mean like, get down from the Pallaki and then walk, or what was it?
Yes.
He felt that was faster?
No, not faster, but she should not be given special treatment at that moment because it was a Yuddha Bhumi. Because Yuddha Bhumi does not deserve the Palki. The Palki is supposed to be reserved for only certain moments, and this was not a moment. See, he mentions those 5 circumstances, right? Yajna, Vivaha, Swayamvara, and that is Vyasana, when they are in distress, and at the end, Yuddha as well. So Yuddha Bhumi is not a place where all these kind of social practices or norms that we have made needs to be followed. And Vibhishana, being a king, should have known all these things when Rama gave him an order. Since Vibhishana was feeling this, he was actually directing at him that, why are you delaying it? So that's all. I hope it is clear now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes. Keshav, sir, please.
Yeah, sir. I hold your comment. So you say many things beyond Ramayana Katha. Today, for example, you spoke about Guru and Daiva. And you sometimes you make a comment saying that I'm distracting too much. Actually, it is not distraction. We learn more through those conversations. Because Ramayana Katha, yes, it is important, but I just want to make that comment. Just one question. You mentioned the Aditya Hridayam was first mentioned, the Agastya too. So that means the source of that is Valmiki. He is the one who wrote Aditya Hridayam?
Yes, yes. I mean, the thing is, it was the Upadesha was given to Rama by Agastya, and Valmiki was able to capture this intimate moment between Agastya and Rama that happened on the battlefield. That is the greatness of Valmiki. As a poet, his greatness is that he was able to capture this moment because he envisioned everything in his heart. Therefore, it was possible for him. If he had imagined all these things, then it would never have been possible. It's not Valmiki's imagination. It's not his creation. It is a representation of things that happened as it is. And most of us would miss this point, but Valmiki did not miss this because he was a rishi. He belonged to the same elite group of Vasishtha, Viśvāmitra, and Agastya. Therefore, he was able to capture this moment. It actually originally happened between Agastya and Rama. Valmiki was able to envision it, hold it in his mind, and bring it unadulterated to all of us.
Okay, so Ramya again. Every time you use the word teacher, do you mean guru, or is there any difference?
No, of course there is a difference. Teacher is those who have taught, who teach, who give us ideas, who motivate us, who inspire us. Guru is someone who takes control of our life, who leads us on a path.
Sir, in Nirakula Yoga, when we were taking classes from during Sankhya Shastra, you used to use, I'm not sure because it's been like 4 years or so. You used to always talk about, I would just say teacher now because I'm not able to remember whether teacher or guru, but the gender was she. So did you mean teacher or guru there?
Teacher.
Okay.
See, I make a bit of confusion when I use that word deliberately. I know I should not do that, but I do that for the sake of protecting the truth itself. There is a saying that Gurum Prakashayed Dhima. A guru should be highlighted, a guru should be brought out, like how light is brought out from a lamp. And sometimes you have to preserve guru, protect the identity of guru that you have. So it is used in both the senses, and this is the kind of nature in our literature as well. Sometimes they would use the word guru for a teacher as well, just to create that tinge of confusion in people's mind. That's a good confusion because it keeps us at bay. It won't give us all the details. You're not supposed to reveal all the details. If you have a guru, then it's your utmost responsibility to protect the essence of guru. So in order to protect that essence, sometimes it is deliberately used like that, so that people should get confused. They should not get a complete idea who my guru is. It's not something to be revealed, to be honest. So therefore, it is done like that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just to clear it, I have a guru, I have a teacher. So that's why I am able to create this confusion. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
No, that's okay, sir, because even during the entire session, you kept using the word teacher, and today too, you spoke a few things more about guru and all of that, right? So I was confused whether if you're referring to the same teacher whom you were referring to during the Sankhya Shastra times, because
same one, different one. They all belong to the same school. Let us say that they all belong to the same legacy, same parampara. So
okay, fine.
So we will see in much more detail about Sita Agni Pravesha, because that's a very important thing. And then we will go ahead with the remaining story, Uttarakanda, the few stories that are supposed to be told and that needs to be paid attention to in Uttarakanda. Most of the times, the Uttarakanda stories can be ignored as well for the sake of narration. They do not carry that much of importance when compared to the actual Uttarakanda story. Therefore, and we will make a better judgment based on that, because these things matter a lot, especially Sita Agni Pravesha, Sita Parityaga. These are the points where usually people get confused a lot, because they cannot get a clear view about the character of Rama, the depth of Rama, the skin of Rama. Therefore, it is my responsibility to take these important episodes with utmost care. So we will take that. I hope none of you mind, because it's not about finishing the story. It's about getting to the depth of the story and clearing a few things. That's what I believe, and I hope all of you are fine with that. I mean, okay. One thumbs up I got. So I believe. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. So if there are no more questions, then we can end this session today, and we will take it forward on.
So last question. I'm sorry, I remember it.
No. Come on.
The Sati system was not followed. I mean, was it only because during the invaders the Sati system was followed, or
no. It was a choice. It was a choice.
I mean, during that times, if the lady would choose Sati, she could have gone.
Yes, absolutely. It was never forced upon any woman ever in our history. I mean, the history that we know and that we must adhere to, not the history written by our invaders. They have tried to manipulate it. It was not something that was forced upon. See, how can we believe that a Savitri came out of this system? You know the story of Savitri, right? She fought with the death. She fought with the god of death until he returned her husband. So it's a different perspective. It was not a regular norm. We find it in several parts. For example, Tara could have, she actually thinks of looking to that system. She wanted to be like a Sati, but she did not, because she knew that she had responsibilities. So when you have such kind of responsibilities to take care of, then you have to hold back.
So in what scenario they would choose Sati, sir?
Okay, when, for example, you remember that Pandu and Madri.
Yeah.
Madri attained Satitvam because she felt that
guilt.
Not guilt, but she felt that she is supposed to be with him even after death, because when he was cursed, when he died, she was with him. It was not guilt. They were supposed to carry on with that. And there was Kunti, who was capable enough to take care of the children. Therefore, Madri did that. It was completely her choice. Nobody forced her to do it. It has always been like that.
Is it because of too much?
Yeah.
Too much of love for the husband or lack of independence? Like in
no lack of independence. Sorry, she was independent. See, when we are saying that it's her choice, isn't it obvious that she has independence?
Yeah, but okay, yeah, okay, fine.
She is independently dependent. That's all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I mean, it's another form of pure love. That's all. When we say that, I will follow you and all such kind of promises that people make to each other, they are following it. That's all.
Okay, fine. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, it all shows the depth of love. It's how we choose to interpret it, and we can try and villainize it as well, demonize it as well. or we can view it sensibly and understand that it can achieve greater things.
So continuation of that, has any man made such a choice? Does that mean, no, I'm saying, has any man made such a choice of
following his
the
wife?
wife? If the
Aja,
wife,
Aja, King Aja.
okay, so it was.
It depends on you. See, if you have an heir to the throne, and if you have done all your work, I mean, if you have discharged all the duties that are supposed to be discharged by you, then you are free to take the decision. It's up to you. Just because you did not follow your pati or patni after they are dead doesn't make you a villain. It does not show that you did not love them enough. That's the point. You can always have the same kind of reverence towards the departed one, even without following them through the death. It's a very flexible system. No need to demonize it. No, it's a good system. If you feel like that shows the amount of love that they had for each other. I mean, this system existed. I mean, like in Chitradurga's history, Tarasu writes it in his books. He's a great Kannada author. If you get any time ever, please read. Tarasu has written beautiful works on Chitradurga's history, and Chitradurga's history begins with Obava, not the Vanake Obava. She's another one. She was the main queen, and there were 3 more queens who were married to the king, that Nayaka, and when he died, 2 of them, they committed sati, and it was not somebody pushed them into fire or something like that. They happily did that, and she had to stay back because she needed to be the one who took care of the kingdom. See, it depends on the responsibility. We cannot run away from our responsibilities. There were people who used to tell us, mentor us, guide us about our responsibility. You cannot run away from your responsibility. Angada was still young. Therefore, even though Tara wished to move with Vālī, she could not, because Angada is still there. And she is too good to be lost, isn't it? She is a wonderful woman. She is a great political advisor, and any kingdom would benefit from her. So why would you want to give up on her? It doesn't mean that whichever woman follows her husband is a useless thing. That's not what I meant. It's their choice. That's all. How to understand about the part of army which were in center of all 4 directions during war. No, when you read the text, you will get it. You will understand how the formations were made and how they were kept intact. Okay, so if there are no more, why Narada did not elaborate on Ramayana instead of Valmiki, as he knew it well? It was Valmiki's to do. It was destined to be Valmiki's Ramayana. Therefore, he did not. See, Valmiki was destined to become a people's poet, and Narada was a poet's poet. That's the answer. So did Rama had Purva Janma? No. Not that has been recorded. Nowhere in Ramayana it has been recorded.
So Lord's incarnation cannot be used as Purva Janma, no, okay.
It is not Purva Janma. We call it Purva Janma when if we are still carrying the burden, the karma burden on our shoulders. If we are not carrying any karma, then it is not Purva Janma.
Okay, sir.
The word Purva Janma is out of context, is used out of context. Usually, in what context the word Purva Janma is used? First and foremost, Purva Janma is not a word at all. It's half a word. Purva Janmarjitan karma. This is the context in which the word these words appear. Therefore, whatever karma we we use, whenever we use Purva Janma, it is referred to the karma, Purva Janma Arjitam karma. Okay. Okay, it was nice, and sorry for taking 30 minutes. So we will see next week, and wish you all a very auspicious Vālī, and we will meet in the next week, and as well as on Yugadi, on Ramanavami as well. Thank you very much. Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.